I'm Rachel Hazel of the Travelling Bookbinder. How to check grain direction. The more you know your materials, the better they will work for you. This is especially important with a material as versatile as paper. In the paper making process, fibres align in one direction. When you're choosing a sheet to make a book with, bear this in mind so that the result functions beautifully. You want the paper grain to run the same way along the spine of your book. Card has a grain direction too, so does tissue. Here are 5 ways to check grain direction. Looking. Hold your sheet up to the light. Look for a consistent pattern in the pulp. Rolling and bending. Roll the paper lengthways into a tube between both hands and feel the amount of resistance. Change the orientation to widthways and compare the difference. The least resistance is with the grain. Ripping and tearing. Try ripping a straight line horizontally and then vertically. Is there any difference in the tear? As it's easier to rip with the grain rather than against it, you'll know which way the fibres lie. Adding moisture. As fibres expand widthways when wet, adding moisture gives a very clear indication of grain direction. Rip a tiny strip of paper horizontally along your sheet and another vertically. Brush water on or add saliva to these strips and watch what happens. Where the fibres have room to expand, the paper will curl. Paper will always curl parallel to the grain direction. Big sheet rolling. Lay a large sheet on a flat surface, bringing one of the short sides over to meet the other. Note how much the paper resists being rolled this way before trying the same thing with the long sides. Short grain means that the paper fibres align with the short side of the sheet. Long grain means that the fibres lie parallel with the long side of the sheet. Paper suppliers often underline the measurement which corresponds to the long grain. Or, as you can see here, if the short dimension is shown first, then the paper is long grain. For example, 56 centimetres times 76 centimetres is long grain, like this sheet of Somerset velvet, whereas 76 centimetres times 56 centimetres is short grain, like this sheet of Bockingford. Yes, it's confusing. Yes, you have a 50% chance of getting it right, but taking the time to check really makes a difference to your work. Being savvy about grain direction, with the fibres running head to tail, will help your book stand, not slump. The paper won't warp or buckle and the pages will turn beautifully.